In today's video, can you really learn to play the piano in just 4 minutes? Hello, Michael here at Making Music, and today we're going over a video that I found on YouTube. Before I'd even seen this video, I knew I had to check it out and review it just by looking at the title. And it's called Learn to Play the Piano in Just 4 Minutes. Sounds like clickbait, doesn't it? A bit skeptical? I know I was. So we're going to go over the video, see if there's anything in there which is of any merit, and we'll give you a bit of a summary at the end. And stay tuned for a top tip as always. Before we get into it, as you know, there's a million more ways to learn music and a million more ways to go about it. My advice is based on my education, bachelor's degree from Trinity, master's degree from Royal College. I've been playing and teaching professionally for over 20 years. Hope you find something you like. If you do, great. If you don't, that's okay too. Whatever you do, please let me know your thoughts. Like the video, and even better if you would subscribe. Okay, so here we go. Learn to play the piano in just 4 minutes. And I'm not quoting exactly, I'm just going to read this. Play your favorite song in just 4 minutes, even if you've never played. Okay, so my reaction to this when I first saw it was, I've wasted my life. What was I thinking? I've been playing since I was a child, working through the grades from grade 1 all the way to grade 8. Then I spent 4 years wasting my time getting a bachelor's degree from Trinity and another year wasted at the Royal College getting my master's degree. What was I thinking? I just needed this video. Mozart and Beethoven, Bach, the whole lot of them are all turning in their graves now thinking, if I'd only seen this video. Okay, maybe it wasn't quite that dramatic, my first thought. But look, it's 4 minutes to learn the piano. I think we can all agree that 4 minutes is not long enough. Simple as that, okay? I appreciate, obviously, we talk often about what our goals are. If you want to be the next Lang Lang, 4 minutes, forget it. That's definitely not going to happen. But what can you actually reasonably get done in 4 minutes? Not an awful lot, in my personal opinion. But look, let's give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Still skeptical, especially with that first comment, but let's go through what he says and let's see if there's any merit in it.
And we've got these black keys, what's the difference between them? Well, I'm here to tell you there is no difference between black and white keys. We literally could have 88 identically looking purple keys, but then how would you know where you are on the keyboard at any given time?
So first off, he talks about the piano itself and how it can be a little bit intimidating. And you know what? I'll go with that. I will go with that. Whenever you see something which you can't make sense of, it can be intimidating. He says that the black and white keys, that's intimidating. I'm not so sure about that. I think it's just anything where you can't see a pattern. For me, a piano, I can see the pattern quite easily because I've been playing for so many years. But if I take, for instance, an accordion, on the one side it looks like a piano keyboard. On the other side, it's got just these little button dot things. I've never played an accordion in my life. I've never had the opportunity to. So that side makes no sense to me. So I find that a little bit intimidating until somebody shows me the pattern and brings that to life for me. Okay. In this respect, he does a fine, decent enough job. He shows us the naming convention of the notes from A to G and how it then just simply repeats. So of course, what happens next? He talks about rhythm. He talks about posture. He talks about the left and your right hand, how they play together, and the fingerings of it. No. What is he going to? He goes into chords. Is there any valuable information in here, in this section? Yes. Yes, there is. Is it what I would have chosen to go next? No, definitely not. There's a few more steps to this before we even get to chords. But okay, let's roll with it. We've only got 4 minutes, so let's give him the benefit of the doubt. What he does do, what he explains very simply and very well, is how you construct a major and a minor chord. Obviously, starting with the tonic for a major, you go up 4 semitones to the next note, and then another 3 semitones. Boom, boom, boom. There you go, your major chord. For the minor, again, pick a note, whatever you want. Go up 3 semitones this time, and then up 4 semitones. Boom, there you go, your minor chord. The next bit, he says, explains that all of the chords are just simply variations of these two. Yes and no. I would say that's a little bit too simplistic. if you have a sus4 chord, is it going to resolve to the major or the minor? Is a diminished chord necessarily a minor chord? Yeah, okay, fine, I can go with that, I suppose. Seventh chords, of course, they can be either major or minor as well. So, look, yes and no on this one. So, I think it's a little bit too simplistic if you ask me personally, okay? But look, on the whole, how to construct a major and minor chord, okay, he does that very well. Is it what I would have chosen to go next? No, definitely not. There's more to piano playing than just chord bashing. So let's keep going and let's see where he goes from here.
The next thing we need to do is learn how to play some chords. Chords are just multiple notes played at the same time, and they're the foundation for the songs that we want to play on the piano. The majority of chords fall into one of two categories. We've got major chords and we have minor chords, and you don't need to memorize all of them. You just need to know the simple formulas, and once you know the formulas, you instantly know how to play all the chords. So for example, the formula for major chords is simply 4-3. What does that look like? Let's say we want to play a D major chord. We'll start at D, go up the very next 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the very next 3 notes, 1, 2, 3. That's a D major chord. Let's say instead we wanted to play a D minor chord. The formula for minor chords is reversed. It's 3-4. So we'll start at D and go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. There's D minor. So now you know how to play all the major and minor chords on the piano. How do you know what chords make up the songs that you want to play? For that, we just turn over to Google, and in this case, I want to play All of Me by John Legend.
Okay, so you have learnt the naming convention of the keys. You haven't had any practice on that, by the way, because you haven't had time, because you've only got 4 minutes. Then he's talked about how to construct a major and a minor chord, and what are we going to do now? Well, he advises us to go onto the internet and consult Dr. Google. That's right, Google. Go and Google your favorite song and then play. Okay, this is where I have to draw the line. I'm really struggling here. Yes, you can go on Google, you can find your favorite song, but there is a lot more to this than just going on Google and finding your favorite song. There's been no mention of inversions. There's been no mention of voicings in general. There has been, obviously we said about rhythm, nothing like that. So even if we go with this, even if we just go with this and we say, okay, right, we've learned how to construct our chord. So we're going to literally play a chord and we're almost going to cookie cutter it and go up to the different notes and play whatever chord it is Google's telling us to play. Not going to sound very well voiced. It's going to sound pretty poor, actually. No mention of inversions. So an inversion, for those of you who are not familiar with it, you have, so just take a simple major chord. You have your root, your third, and your fifth. There is no reason why the root of that chord has to stay at the bottom. It can go to the top. Also, there's no reason why the fifth of the chord has to stay. That can go to the bottom. Fine. So, there's different ways you can do it. And by changing the different inversions that you're using, you can stay around the piano in a much more satisfying way for the ear, particularly. Also, how do you break it up between your left and your right hand? There's absolutely no mention of this. If you just said, look, play the bass note with your left and the chord in your right, that would have helped a little bit. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure about this. I can't go along with this. Just suddenly. There you go, and you play your favorite song, and then he plays it, and then he goes, and with a little bit, you play a little bit longer, and you'll be playing like this. That's not 4 minutes then, is it? So you're going to need to practice, is a simple thing. Okay, now the other thing which I have an issue with is that so far he's basically teaching how to chord bash. There's nothing wrong per se with chord bashing, but it leaves a lot to be desired. He tells you to play your favorite song in 4 minutes. Now, a song is normally written for somebody to sing. That doesn't mean it has to be sung. No, that's not what I'm saying. But a fundamental part of a song is, generally speaking, there's a melody. If you are just chord bashing, there is no melody. So you're missing a fundamental part of that song, that piece of music, however we want to call it. And like I said, you don't have to sing it. There are fantastic string quartet arrangements of songs, there's fantastic piano arrangements, guitar duets, you name it, you can arrange it, but the melody will feature. To bring that point, another point on that is, if I give you a chord sequence, a very simple chord sequence, which is if you go from tonic to relative minor, subdominant, dominant. If you're not sure about those, let me know. Pick whatever key you want, just those 4 chords. I bet you can find 10 to 20 songs online that uses that exact same chord sequence. Easily between 10 and 20. Okay, because it is, so which song are you playing? You could be playing any one of them, right? But it's the same chord sequence. Okay, fine, you can argue it's in a different key. It's still the same chord sequence. So, and look, there's nothing wrong with chord bashing. I've done it many a times when I've been accompanying somebody, let's say they're doing a song. You don't want to be playing the melody at the same time as they're singing it, no, because they might just embellish it a little bit. And it never sounds great if you're playing it very rigidly, following the notes exactly, and they're embellishing it. No, give them the freedom, give them, you know, the space to do that. Choirs as well, same thing. You probably don't really want to be playing the melody too much. Let them take care of the melody. So there's a time and a place for it. But to suggest that you can learn to play your favorite song in 4 minutes by chord bashing, I think is a bit of a stretch. I'm sorry to call it out like that, but I'm not so keen on that. Okay, the other thing which I'm not quite sure about, and if I've misunderstood something here, please call me out, leave me a comment and let me know. Why is this video called Piano in 4 Minutes when his channel is Piano in 21 Days? Which is it? I'm sorry, I haven't quite understood. Is it that you can learn to play your favorite song in 4 minutes, but to learn to play everything else on the piano takes 21 days? Do you see what I'm trying to say? I'm a little bit confused. Is it 4 minutes or is it 21 days? My opinion is that neither one of them is good enough. You need much more time than this. It is not enough time to fundamentally learn an instrument. It just isn't. Even regardless of what your goal is. If your goal is just to play one song, even then, in 21 days, yeah, you could be playing something in 21 days. Yes, but you're still going to need to hone your skill, practice, develop it, refine it. So, you know, you can't just skip one of the fundamental ways that we learn as human beings by repetition. So I'm not sure about this, and either one, 4 minutes or 21 days, I can't go along with either one of them. Yes, you can learn stuff in that amount of time, but no, it's not enough time to really be competent at something, to whatever degree. So yeah, look, there's so much in this video here that I feel has been left out. So just a simple voicing, like I said before, inversion of the chords, which would help with the voicing. What to do with your left hand, what to do with your right hand. Yeah, I am doing this for your point of view, so this is your left, this is your right. But you know what I mean. Rhythm, yeah, all these different things, completely no mention of it at all. And that's what I really, I'm not keen on. And also, I don't like the whole Google thing. Yeah, fine, it has its uses, but Google is not the fountain of all knowledge. There's a lot of good stuff on Google and the internet, but there's also an awful lot of rubbish out there. So yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical about that as well. Look, if the video had been, look, I'm going to give you a few tips to get started on playing the piano in 4 minutes. Whoa, great, fantastic. Skip the Google bit. But other than that, yeah, great. So naming convention and showing us how to construct a chord. Great, I could have gone along with it. But because he says clearly, learn to play your favorite song in 4 minutes, it's not even, I'll give you some tips in 4 minutes to help you get started to play your favorite song. No, it's learn to play your favorite song in 4 minutes. I can't go with this. I'm sorry, but I really can't go with it. And I get it. The internet's very crowded. We need to you know, he wants to stand out. But this is just clickbait. I'm sorry, this is just clickbait. So for that, no, I can't give this much credit. I'm sorry. Yes, the first couple of bits, there's some good information there, but not an awful lot, and certainly not enough to get me started on playing. Okay. Now the way I kind of feel that he has done it, and let me give you an example in terms of reading and writing, you know, letters, words, and what have you. This video, in summary, is the equivalent of me giving you the alphabet, going through it once, saying, look, here are the letters from A all the way to Z or Z, depending which part of the Atlantic you live on. Which side of the Atlantic, not part of the Atlantic. From A to Z, there's all the letters. There you go. Pronounce them. Okay, great, you've learned it. Well done. We've only got 4 minutes, so that's all you get. And to make some of these things called words, you basically go vowel, consonant, all the other way around, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel. They make some words up, sentence. Here's the Shakespeare sonnets. You've got a minute and a half, and I want to hear you recite that. Oh, and by the way, you've never ever seen a letter before in your life. That's in essence what they're doing. And if I asked you to do that, you'd say I'm completely cuckoo in the head. So why is it then that by saying that you can learn your favorite song in 4 minutes on the piano, that's possible? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but I can't go along with this. So look, in summary, when I first saw the video, I was really hoping, look, I was thinking, okay, right, silly title, but hopefully there's some really good information here, and hopefully he will say, you know, something which I can get. The general thing of the video was valuable, but no, other than those couple of bits at the beginning, there really is not a lot of credit I can give here. Much better, in my opinion. Save your time. Get a teacher. They will save you so much time in terms of learning something. And even if you say, okay, I'm going to book out 10 lessons, go with 10 lessons and see how you get on in 10 lessons. You will be surprised at how much more you'll learn in 10 lessons with a teacher than you would on your own in that same amount of time, so 10-week period. Okay, so that would really be, you know, pleased, you know, what I urge you to do. Now, I know, I read the reviews as well on the bottom of this page. There were some which were quite sarcastic, which were quite funny, I will admit. I'm not one for going around leaving negative comments, but there were some quite some subtle ones, which was quite amusing. But there's also some people that said this video is fantastic. If only I'd learned this at school instead of sitting through my music lessons at school. I can't comment on what your music teacher was doing because I wasn't there. But I will say that, generally speaking, the syllabus which is asked of music teachers to teach classroom music is very different to chord bashing on a piano. It is more about the history, more about the general subject. If you want to learn the instrument, then get a proper instrument lesson. Okay, so I don't know what context that was in, but I would say just take some of those, you know, take it with a pinch of salt, because you don't know what that teacher was trying to teach you. Also, you don't know what that student was hoping to get from it. And there may have been a mismatch between the two. Okay, look, with that, you know, as I said, look, for me, this video, it is just a little bit too much clickbait. You're not going to learn the piano in 4 minutes, regardless of what your goal is. If it's to go bang, 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 yeah, okay, that will take you 4 minutes. But even learning Twinkle Twinkle Little Star with one finger and one hand, you're probably going to take more than 4 minutes. So please, you know, and that leads me to my top tip. People, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Look, you see it all the time, and I know I've used the fitness industry many times, but you see it so many times, these adverts for this magic pill that helps to burn fat while you're just sitting on the sofa watching television. They don't work. They don't work. It is just nonsense. Or do this exercise and you'll be burning 1,000 calories in 10 minutes. No, you will not. It's just, no, that is just pure clickbait. And this video, for me, is almost the equivalent to that. Not quite at that level, but it's certainly edging towards that way. So guys, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Okay, look, sorry for being a bit negative today, but I really don't like to see this kind of material, because I think it is just misleading. And when I see it, I feel like I want to call it out, because I don't want people to waste their time in it. Like I said, buy a block of 10 lessons from a teacher. You'll make so much more practice in this. So apologies for being a little bit negative. Normal service will resume next video. But look, let me know what you think in any case, yeah? I hope you did find something useful in the middle of all my silly ranting. I hope there was some useful bits of information there. Look, whatever you do, as always, please leave me a comment, like the video, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.